Thank you, Zamir Asabisa, for your thorough remarks. And you mentioned about quite a few things about the role of government. It's very important. You mentioned about where we, as a country, as a nation, we're heading, and you talked about our role in South Asia. After 100 years, yes, people would be talking about our trajectory, what Pakistan and India, when they got independence in 1947, and where they stand after 100 years, people would be talking about them. And then you talked about China offering to us so many things. We are thankful to Chinese people. To me, China is offering us so many things because they believe in their history. They believe in the ancient Silk Route times. It's about time that we should also start believing in our history and also elevate ourselves and offer something to China in which Chinese people are really interested. So now I think we should be moving. Okay, we have Mr. Azim Khan today as well. So I'll be requesting him to please share his remarks. Mr. Azim Khan, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Shams. Thank you very much. First of all, I wanted to thank Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Eman for such great and comprehensive presentation, sir. Thank you very much. It was a great to listen from you. I wrote down all the suggestions you gave for the future work, and we will touch these suggestions one by one, and we will keep in touch with you for further guidance. I also want to thank all the participants, but before thanking them, I wanted to add one thing, that when China was in trouble in past, Pakistan extended helping hand to China at that time. And now China is doing the same thing as a good brother and friend of Pakistan. And China is returning that favor through helping Pakistan for its economic and social development. When China is willing to share its experience with the developing world and its neighboring countries, then China always considered Pakistan as a priority in its neighborhood diplomacy. So it's on us that how can we learn from Chinese experience in different aspects in social development, socio-economic development, in disaster management, in corruption, anti-corruption drives, and there are so many things from which we can learn from China as a good friend and brother. There's no nothing bad in it that we have to learn from our brother or friends. If we don't, our own religion also taught us that if you get knowledge from anywhere, that is your you can get knowledge from anywhere, and there is no nothing bad in this thing. So I think that China is our close friend, and China is our brotherly country. So if China is willing to share its experience with the developing world and its neighboring countries, and China is considering Pakistan as a priority, then there is nothing bad in this, that we can learn from China so many things. And at the end, I wanted to thank all the participants and all the speakers who attended the sessions, all at 8 sessions. And in future, we will try to continue these kind of initiatives with the help of Youth Diplomacy Forum. And we will love to do more sessions in future. And we will keep close contact with everyone. And I think Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Eman has given a good suggestion for the participants who attended these last 8 sessions. If it is possible for them, please write 1 or 2 pages about these 8 sessions as a feedback for us, so we can learn more from your suggestions also. So this is all from my side. Now, over to you, Mr. Shams.
Thank you, Mr. Azim Khan, for your candid remarks. Now I've been requested by Mr. Musawwir. He wants to add something into this conversation. So Musawwir Tunoli, here you go.
Thank you so much, Syed Shamsul Hassan, for moderating the panelists in all these 8 sessions during this whole internship program. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Awan Sahab, how he had discussed the topic in a very detail. And I think the way he was talking, the way he was addressing and pointing out all the things, I think we can take the one point and we can organize the whole program on that particular point. So I think it was very comprehensive, and I was noting down all the things and which Azim Saab also mentioned. And I also urge and request our participants to write down, few pages or their what they think about, because we discussed many things. We discussed about special economic zones. We talked about agricultural cooperation, mining, people to people contact, local communities. Then we talked about, an overview of cpec, then industrial cooperation, Pak China relations, people to people, cultural cooperation. Okay, so there are many areas which are covered so far. And today is the last session. So we talked about the future prospects. And in that even future prospect, it was a very detailed information about Pakistani side, Chinese side, how it is a gateway for Central Asia and for other countries, and how we can benefit from that. So there is a need for processing plants as well when it comes to agricultural cooperation. And also our speaker, Dr. Tair, also mentioned that, and given the example of China, that only one special economic zone was successful, and then they learn from their mistakes, and now see the China, now see their special economic zones. So why not, as Azim Sab also said, why not to learn from our friends? Why not to learn from China? Why not to learn from the mistakes which we committed in the past? And also at the end, I would like to thank all our speakers who started from the first session. They are not available today, but I would like to thank all of them, and especially to our panelists as well, Zamir Asadi Saab, Usman Zulfikar, and especially to you, Sayyid Shamsul Hassan, for staying with us during this whole program, and then participants as well. So I wish good luck to all of them, and we will be definitely continuing with the future programs as well. But that's it from my side. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Zamir. Thank you, Musawwir Tanuri Saab. Now we just have a question dropped in the chat, one question, and I'll read it out if we have time. I think we.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So there is a perception that Pakistan will become Chinese colony in future, considering massive CPEC investment and weaker Pakistani economy not able to pay back the loans, I guess he's talking about. So just like China took over Sri Lanka seaport, so share your opinion regarding this. Thank you. I think this is directed to our main speaker today, Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Awan, if we can have his opinion on this question.
Okay, thank you, Shams. This, in fact, Amir Hayat sir has asked this question, and this is something which we, or at least I, listen in almost every, I would not say every, but every second conversation when Pakistani and Chinese, or even our Pakistani friends are sitting and talking about CPEC, BRI, Pakistan and China, investments, GDI, GSI, regardless of whatever the topic is. I mean, this is something which we always heard. So referring to, I hope Amir Saab was there at that time. I started my discussion with the words that Pakistan is not a market for China. Pakistan is not an attractive market for China. What I mean to say is, for them, investing in Pakistan and taking profits out of it is never their purpose, is never their, you can say, on their list. One reason is Pakistan being a developing country, Pakistan being a country where most of the time we are getting the products that are not of European or American or other Western world standard. We are getting relatively cheaper products, relatively we are price sensitive. But again, this is my observation. I hope all of you other people, you also have observed this thing, that things have changed. People now are getting towards quality also. Now they are not, no more, we are no more the price sensitive nation. We always think about warranty, we always think about the quality of the product. So in this perspective, I would say one perspective is this one, and the second perspective to talk about this colonization thing is that China is not having any history like Britishers or like other nations. China is not having any history of colonization, at least. So they are not going to take over. They right now, if you see, our Gwadar port is being managed by a Chinese company. When we are saying managed by a Chinese company, that is running the operations. And similarly, if you talk about the Sri Lanka seaport and taking over the Sri Lanka seaport and those, that were again the operations. They didn't send Sri Lankans to get out of that place, and they established a new city, maybe called as any Chinese name. I can give it a Chinese name of my own, but the port is still Sri Lankan port. The operations are being managed by Chinese because they want to have their, at least whatever they have invested, they want to get it back. Similarly, in Gwadar also, I mean, I missed some part of it. I guess the server sahab was asking something in the start, but still, the points mentioned by Osman Zulfikar, the points mentioned by Zamir Sahab, points mentioned by Sayyid Shamsul Hassan. So all of these, they are still toward, I hope, Amir Sahab, I have answered your question. Just I am encapsulating my words, and I am trying to finish it on a good note. We have to change our strategy, and that strategy, I am using it on at almost all the platforms for the last few months. That is, from we should do to let's do it together. We should do to let's do it together. So if the government is having some problems, if we are facing some issues, at least at individual level, we should start doing something. I am just trying to convince myself, and I wish most of the people in this session, they contribute those 2 pages. I am still saying, for 8 sessions, writing any session of your choice, choose any session of your choice and write 2 pages reflection paper on it. This will show our individual seriousness toward this national cause. Why we are sitting here right now, you people are having your evening, but for me, it's like 9 o'clock at night. And this is again our national responsibility. This is something which we individually, we have to do it to play our role, to play our role towards this national cause. Are we on the right track? What avenues government is exploring? What is the problem with the fisheries sector of Gwadar? These all are the issues that are not controllable issues, for us at least. What government is doing, we cannot change the government by force, but at least we can suggest something that is workable, that is something which is maybe feasible for us at our levels. Azim Saab, Tanoli, then again Sayyid Shamsul Hassan and all others, speakers and all organizers of this, we are playing our role. Now, if we are not getting heard at this platform, we are not getting heard at the second platform, use social media, use online media, send your reports to the organizations that are being involved. Don't invest money in printing out all of these reports. Sending through WhatsApp, sending through email, sending through your other electronic communication channels is something what we can do. Somehow we'll get heard. I believe we'll get heard. I hope I have answered the question of Amir Sahib. There is one more question. If Shams is okay with it, if he allows and or the organizers allow, I'll take the
Yes.
question directly.
Yes, please go ahead, but be brief because we had a very lengthy session today.
BRI a debt trap for Pakistan and rest of the countries? Do you think so? Again, the same word, the debt trap. If it is a debt trap, why we spent like 10 years? We must have gone 10 years ago. If it is a debt trap, why we are talking about CPEC phase 2? And for those who always say कि जी हमने phase 1 में क्या कर लिया, phase 2 आ गया, अभी phase 1 का हमें कुछ पता ही नहीं है. So phase 1 is infrastructure. Infrastructure cannot be built and seen, and the benefits cannot be seen overnight. It will take some time. And the second phase में आपको मजीद कुछ नहीं नजर आएगा. Because second phase is toward the soft power. Second phase is toward the cultural side. Second phase is toward people to people connection. It is the softer side. आपको कहीं पे कोई बिल्डिंग बनती हुई नजर नहीं आएगी. इसलिए ये डेट ट्रैप का वर्ड बार बार यूज होगा, डिफरेंट सिनोनिम्स के साथ यूज होगा. Try to understand that we are not on business terms with China. It is, we are on the receiving end. We have to understand what we can learn and replicate. Receiving end से मेरा मतलब भीख मांगना नहीं है. Receiving end से मेरा मतलब learning side पे है. We need to learn, we need to replicate, we need to develop our own selves. China will not enter into our houses and build our washrooms and build our bedrooms and make us sleep in a comfortable way. We have to do it ourselves, and we can only do when we are ready to learn and replicate. And learning and replication means learning new things and replicating it. At least 50% of that is workable, if not 100%. कुछ तो मिलेगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो आगे चलेंगे. But we need to be serious about it. We need to move from the strategy of we should do to let's do it.
I want to add one thing more.
Please.
Shams Sahib.
Please go ahead.
Ex-Chinese Association is preparing to hold a offline seminar on decade of CPEC next week in continuation of these 8 sessions. So we will invite all our distinguished speaker in that seminar to honor their participation. We will present them shields to recognize their participation and work, and for our panelists also, for Mr. Shams and Mr. Zulfikar and Mr. Zamir, we as a recognition of your participation, we wanted you all to, we will invite you all, and we wanted you all to be present at that session. And about the suggestion of writing some points through the participants and university students, they can write their things, whether it's negative or positive. Whatever exists in their mind, they should write these things on a paper. And if it is possible, bring these suggestions and anything with them during the seminar. We will meet there physically. That will be offline session in Islamabad. We will meet there, and we will enjoy that program also. And we will we wanted to see what is going on in the minds of our participants also. So for that, this is a great thing to write it down, everything in a paper, suggestions, whether it's negative perception or positive perception, what it is. You should write it and bring it with you during the seminar. And we will invite you in a few days, 2 or 3 days. Next week, we will hold this seminar in Islamabad. And Dr. Saab, we will miss you, Dr. Tahir Ahmad. Mumtaz Ahmad Saab, we will miss you because you are in China now.
I'm with you all the time. I'm in your heart. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I believe that students would also be getting the certificates in that.
Yes. I missed it. Thanks for adding it.
So
Students.
all the students, those who have attended these sessions, these eight sessions since last month, they would be getting their certificates in that session. So
Yes.
can we make it convenient to attend that session, certificate distribution ceremony, you can call it.
Yes.
So with this, we are now moving towards closure of this 1 month online internship program initiative took by Youth Diplomacy Forum under the patronship of Musawwir Tanoli and in collaboration with the ex-Xinjiang Association. Mr. Azim Khan was instrumental in that collaboration, and already Musawwir Tanoli has extended the word of thanks to all the previous speakers and panelists. So from my side as well, thank you so much for your worthy participation and your inputs in all those sessions. Even today, I'll be sharing that some of the questions that we answered reflects to the fact that there is still a lot of gap, and there is still a lot of negative perception in the media about cpec and BRI. And for that, I would only be saying that don't only be receptive to the one side of the view. Always try to get a more detailed view backed by fact and figures, and also check the different opinions, and then establish a view about anything. So we are into this cpec 2.0, which is the second phase of cpec, and this kind of propaganda, the commonly used words debt trap, and these things would emerge more and more often. But we have to be aware of the state of affairs, that what is happening on the ground. Like if cpec or BRI was a project of debt trap, then why would 145 plus countries join BRI? Like, why would African countries join BRI? And we would have heard a lot of things related to debt trap. But China is investing in nations by building their infrastructure, and they are not at all bringing freedom or bombing nations. So I won't be going into details, but the students of IR and political science and China studies, they should check themselves and compare the model of development by the Chinese side and the model of development that we have embraced in 20th century and till now by the Western countries. So there's a clear-cut difference. And that is the reason why Youth Diplomacy Forum and ex-Xinjiang Association took this initiative to educate you people, to make you aware of the things. So that is very important, and this initiative should carry forward, and it should carry on, and we shouldn't stop it here. We should have more often such initiatives, so that our people are aware of the things going on. So with these remarks, I would formally conclude this 1 month internship program, and wish you best of luck, and see you there in the week time. And we would hear the news from Musawwir Tanoli and Nazim Khan about the venue and wherever it is organized. So take good care of yourselves, and Khuda Hafiz.